Well, for every 800 babies born, one will have Down syndrome. And over the years, huge strides have been made in research, which has actually led to the improvements in the life expectancy. However, with new research, studies are now showing something a little bit alarming. Doctors have actually found that there is a link between those living with Down syndrome and Alzheimer's after the age of 40. So here to tell us more about a new study, we have Dr. Dana Jennings. And here to tell us their personal story is Larry Proctor, who has Down syndrome, and his mother, Colleen. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll get to the two of you here in just a moment. But Dr. Jennings, I actually want to start with you. There's actually a link between Down syndrome and people with Alzheimer's disease. What is that link and how did you find it?
So it's actually been known for several years that individuals with Down syndrome are at an increased risk for developing Alzheimer's disease. And in Alzheimer's disease, actually people develop a protein or sort of accumulate a protein in their brain which is called amyloid. And that's also been seen in individuals with Down syndrome. And as individuals with Down syndrome age, we've been able to evaluate their aging process. And it turns out that they develop this amyloid in their brain at a much earlier age than the general population and have a much higher propensity to develop Alzheimer's disease.
Wow. So what actually sparked the new study?
So I just want to first say that I'm a neurologist, and I'm from the Institute for Neurodegenerative Disorders, which focuses really on neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease, and developing tests to help us detect early changes in the brain that may indicate an early sign of Alzheimer's disease. And this study was really brought on because the technology has improved so much over the last several years. And now we actually have imaging tests that can help us detect early changes and detect that amyloid in the brain.
Wow.
So it's really an exciting time for Alzheimer's disease, and it's really an exciting time for individuals with Down syndrome to become a part of this study.
Which is perfect. Larry, let's bring you in. Why did you want to do the research? I mean, what was it about this particular program that you wanted to join up with them?
My oldest sister gave me an ad in. Me to my mom to call the number, and I like to pay you good money.
Right.
And
he's like me. Listen, he says they're going to pay you a little bit of good money, and I want to make a little bit of extra cash, which is great. But you're learning a lot with this research, and I'm sure you're helping other people with Down syndrome over the age of 40, right?
yes.
And Colleen, for you as a mom, why did you want to encourage him to do this?
Well, I didn't really need to encourage him because Larry was always ready to jump in to a project. But when my daughter called me and saw the ad, we did call in, and I used to think I knew a lot about Down syndrome, but I'm finding out more all the time. And for a long time, I did not realize that Larry has 5 times more likely to get Alzheimer's than I am, although I figure I'm certainly in the running. But I want
Look at Larry, tell Mom, no, Mom, you're fine.
No, we're going down together.
No.
But
Not same time.
High five, Larry, my kind of guy. I know that's right.
But I just think anything we can learn not only helps people with Down syndrome, but helps everybody, and we're all potential victims of Alzheimer's. So this was an easy study. It was painless. We went down for a couple of days. Larry had some good physical exams with Dr. Jennings and did the test, which is painless and non-invasive. And
Dr. Jennings, what is the overall goal of this research, though? I'm sure it is to help folks with Down syndrome and to make sure you give them a better life, but what would you say is the overall goal?
I think the overall goal of this study really is, first of all, to determine if everybody with Down syndrome is ultimately going to go on to develop Alzheimer's disease. First of all, that's a question that really needs to be addressed. And secondly, if we can identify that as early as possible, because the earlier we detect it, the more chance there is to make a difference in terms of development of treatments and initiating treatments at a stage that it can make a big difference.
What about the requirements for this particular study? What are they?
So it's really limited to adults with Down syndrome, so individuals that are greater than 40 years old or older. And as Colleen said, it's actually pretty easy to participate.
Yes,
and I would encourage everybody that's interested to participate or let people know about it.
For parents who might watch this segment and have a child with Down syndrome, what's the message to them?
I think this is a chance to make a big difference, not just for individuals with Down syndrome, but to the population as a whole in terms of early detection of Alzheimer's disease. And this is an imaging study that's being developed. This is interestingly, this is one of the few places in the world where it's being done. And so I think in Connecticut we can really make a big difference.
It's exciting to see you so excited about it as a doctor. It's got to be with all this cutting-edge technology that you have access to now and able to use. Colleen, for you, though, what is the message for parents who are watching from a mom?
Well, I think anything we can learn about our sons and daughters is important for us, and while this may not directly affect him, it will affect people for years to come, and so I think that just the added information is terribly important.
And Larry, the platform is yours. You go for it. I mean, what is the message for somebody who may have Down syndrome from you? What would you like them to know?
You want to know, the test is great, and give me all my blood.
They did take some of your blood. That's true. Excuse me.
Mom?
And we have, please come over 40, or we're not. That's fine. Please call this number. Well,
And we're going to have that number up there. And a pre-happy birthday to you, because I think you said you're turning what again?
46.
46, believe it or not. I want whatever this guy's having over here. Adults with Down syndrome are invited to participate. If you'd like more information on the Institute for Neurodegenerative Disorders, the information is on your screen. Or just come to our website. We will certainly have the link there for you. Again, once again, that information right there for you. Certainly participate if you certainly can there. Dr. Jennings, Larry, Colleen, thank you all so much for being here.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. Thank you.